Alrighty, so now that we know how to submit scores to leaderboards, let's go through the process of removing these hard-coded strings. I'm going to do something a little different than the Achievement Manager. You'll remember in the Achievement Manager we created a new enum for each of the achievements. Now, I could do the same thing for our leaderboards, but the thing is we basically already have an enum set up for this. If you look in our enums.h file, we have this difficulty level one. And since our leaderboards correspond exactly to difficulty levels, I'm just going to go ahead and reuse this. I'm going to do, so let's see. I'm going to set this to 0 just to kind of ensure that yes, easy really is going to correspond to 0. And then in our leaderboard manager, I'm going to create a new method called submit score for difficulty level. And that's right, I'm going to go up here and import my enums. Difficulty level. Xcode, why are you giving me? There we go. All right. Now to implement this, I do still need to create the array of static strings that lets me know what leaderboard corresponds to, each difficulty level. So I'm going to do our static NSString const leaderboard IDs, and that will equal. And now I got to go to my developer console and make sure I copy and paste these. So let's bring that up. There we go. And copy this one. Let's copy this one. I think these are really all the same except for the last letter here, but just in case. I always like copying and pasting. There we go. And can do this. And we can create a little NSString for our leaderboard ID, and that equals our leaderboard IDs level. And actually, you know what? I'm just gonna combine these two methods into one. So there we go. We get our leaderboard ID by looking at our leaderboard IDs array, and then basically I'm just gonna combine this with the rest of the submit score for leaderboard ID method. Now I basically just need to go back to my .h file and delete this method because we no longer want to use it. And we're pretty good. So now I can go back to my game model class and replace this method where I'm submitting a score to a hard-coded leaderboard string to just leaderboard manager, submit score, num guesses for difficulty level. And at this point I've realized, you know what? I'm not actually storing the difficulty level anywhere in this class. Well, this is something we can fix with a simple property or a variable. Let me just go up here and add it as a property. By the way, I often go back and forth about whether I should be storing these private variables as little ints here or as actual properties in the class extension. I go back and forth. I'm not quite sure if one way is really considered more proper than the other. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it here. I'm going to create a little int that is going to store our difficulty level. So there we go. I do know, however, that since I've kind of created most of these others as properties, I don't know why I'm then referring to them using their private variable names with this underscore GameMax underscore secret number. I should probably be using some self-dot notation here. Sorry about that. But in any case, I guess I'll be consistently incorrect here, and we'll store our difficulty level as the level that gets passed in. And now that this has been recorded, I can now go back to the bottom here. And for difficulty level, I can now change that to difficulty level, the property. And there you go. Let's run this now. And we'll see that whoa, hey, look at that, 3 guesses. I got a better score than before. And by the way, you will notice, as I mentioned before, in the score report that gets returned, the high score for player today, all those booleans are true, and the actual high score objects are null. Remember, those only get returned if you did not get a new high score for today or for the week or all time. And now what's even better is, without any extra work on my part, I can now go ahead and play a medium difficulty game. Whew. Boy, I guess I should have made a more fun game to play. Alright, there we go. And now I've submitted a high score to the medium leaderboard as well. So let's go back, check out our leaderboards. Here's our medium leaderboard, and there I am with a score of 10. I could likewise do the same for the hard difficulty level, but I really don't want to play a game where I guess a number between 1 and 10,000. So I will leave that as an exercise to the viewer. So we're almost done here. The only other refinement I want to make is I found it sort of awkward that I had to go back here to this main screen to view the leaderboards for the game I was just playing. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if in the middle of playing my easy game, I could see the current high scores. And so we can do that pretty easily as well. And we'll tackle that final step in the next lesson. So I'll see you soon.